Leslie's joining us here from Common Ground. Let's talk a little bit about the planting process, specifically no-till, and how it's changed over the years, because the ground is so important to you guys, right?
It is absolutely important. The condition of the ground, the amount of organic matter that's in the ground, the looseness of the ground, which has been a factor in the past on why you would decide to go to no-till. Because with no-till, it means that you're making a lot less trips over the field, using less time, using your equipment less, using less fuel. But yet, sometimes that ground does need to be worked, and it's depending on what type of operation you have. No-till can fit in very well, but there's other times when you do need to go ahead and work the ground. But the way no-till has changed it is that it's much more economical. Generally, with the less compaction on the ground, it makes it easier for the ground to stay in condition. With the compaction, it prevents the moisture from soaking into the ground as well, and it also prevents the roots from growing down to where they can get to that moisture. So most of your roots are on the top of the surface, and that makes your crop less stable. And it makes it harder for them to get the moisture they need, because the top will dry out very quickly, where if the moisture can soak down further, then the roots can go down and get it, and it gives you a much stronger plant.
So this, too, it conserves the land a little bit, too, right? And it's even GMOs. Some people hear about that, too, you know, genetically modified organisms.
There's been so many things that have been done through science and technology in creating GMOs that are, for instance, corn plants and soybean plants that are much more resistant to drought. We use our water much more efficiently. We don't need to use as much water. They can handle it times when there is no rain, so that we don't have to irrigate as much. And there's areas in this country that don't irrigate. There's a lot of dry land. Iowa is the #1 producer of corn, and they do very little irrigation over there, but yet they still get some dry periods, so they have to have the crops that will be able to withstand that. Now, a GMO is very simply a plant that has been modified either through breeding or through technology, and when they consider it a GMO, it is because they have sped up the science a little bit. They're not changing the plant in anything other than certain specific traits that will increase yields, use less fertilizer, use less water. It's much more economical for the farmers, and with the population in the world growing at the rate that it is, and the fact that we don't get any more land.
That's true.
We're not getting any more water, and probably going to have to do it on less. We need to use science and technology in any way possible to increase our yields with what we have now, or even less resources.
Some things to put into perspective there. Thank you so
Absolutely.
much, Leslie. If you